In this episode, I get to sit down with two really wonderful, beautiful friends of mine, Krista and Emma. I chose them to do this podcast with me just in time for Mother's Day because they both have 5 kids in 5 years. That is a unique surrender that God does not call everybody to, and I really wanted to get their perspective on all things identity and motherhood and just their perspective on the world, because they have so many things in common, but they also have such unique and beautiful personalities that they bring to the table. So this week they are sharing their stories of surrender with us, and man, it is an epic conversation also. You can learn more about them in our May, June, and July issue. Get some notable quotes from them, learn a little more about who they are, and get to know more exclusive interview, question, advice, etc. from them in this issue of the magazine, available over at www.holysurrender.com or over on our Etsy shop if you prefer to get the digital magazine from us instead. This episode is sponsored by NAP Ministries. This is an amazing story of surrender. Take a listen. You both have 5 kids in 5 years, roughly.
Truth.
Yep. So I'm curious. I just want to hear your guys' perspective, because I know that motherhood is unique and it requires surrender pretty much by the minute, by the second. Yeah. But that looks different for both of you. So start by just kind of telling us briefly how long you've been married, like how fast you had kids after you got married. Like, was it bam, first kid? Did you have some space in between there? And then how many you have now and what ages they are. So just give us an overview of what your family looks like at this moment, and we'll dive in a little bit more to the surrender part.
Well, fun fact, we got married the same year, 2018.
Really?
Yeah, 3 weeks apart.
Yep.
Is that accurate?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're January
20th.
or February 3rd.
Yeah.
Super Bowl Sunday, mind you.
So,
not that we care because we had no idea.
So no sports here.
No sports.
There goes your guest list.
I mean, that is true. My uncle didn't come because of it. I'm like, really? Really? Marriage? Super Bowl? Really? Rude. Anywho, sorry. Go ahead. Choices, yes.
Got married the same year.
Yep.
Both had 2 miscarriages each.
Yep.
Before
First
baby.
Mm-hmm.
And
did those how back to back were those miscarriages for you
pretty
guys?
back to back.
Yeah. I mean, we got pregnant honeymoon night. I guarantee it.
Oh, we didn't.
And miscarriage 8 weeks, and then it was literally like 2-3 weeks we conceived again.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So when I think Ambrose is a little older than Malia, is that right?
July 7th of 19.
Yeah, she's.
Wait.
Oh, okay. So he is, because she's September 30th, 19.
Yeah, so the month apart.
September 4th. I'm sorry.
Month apart, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's July 7th.
Mm-hmm.
It's also my birthday.
Haha.
I have like 4 birthday buddies. It's great.
That's awesome.
It's a good day. But so you guys even have your children pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So miscarriages, and then
Mm-hmm.
oldest, and then the third fun fact is that both the age gap between our oldest and our second oldest is a year and a month.
Yep.
Yeah.
13 months.
Dang. How was that? Truly. Like, was it surprising when you're like 4 months postpartum basically, and suddenly there's a positive
Shocking.
I
pregnancy
didn't have a
test?
cycle, I don't believe. And
Oh, no
then
cycle.
it was a positive. I'm like, yeah, okay. I was like, And then it was kind of a shock, actually, knowing that Bernadette was on her way, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like,
I mean, I wanted more kids at that point, but it was shocking. It was like, wait, what? I didn't have a choice? What?
Not that we ever really have a choice, although we can
yeah.
kind of sort of think that we can plan, like, because of
I
cycles,
think you
but
can plan if you can
there's
get
always
things
that third
figured
element,
out.
though. There's always the third element of
But
God.
Yeah,
And it's like,
well, I
oh,
know,
wait a
that's-
minute.
So you guys really giving God
That's the
your
twist.
yes? Like, yeah, just
I
kids
mean-
whenever. Did you do you feel like this was something that God said, oh, I know you're capable of this, so it's gonna happen? Or were you like, yes, Lord, I just want to be radically open to life
Option
and see what
A.
happens?
100% option A.
I mean, I was always open to life. I always wanted a lot of kids, thinking I would want a lot of kids. I didn't know. Actually, I was told I couldn't have children at one point in my life. So then I was like, oh yeah, not that I was really trying.
I'll show you.
But not that I was
God did.
specifically tracking enough. Because you can to a T to be like, okay, this is the biggest, opportunity if we really do want to have a baby. I mean, there are this, NFP. But did I ever, plan it? No, I guess I'm just open to it. And I'm like, okay, yeah.
So it's a little more neutral for you.
Yeah. It's more, there's the surrender word again, where it's like, okay, well, I guess I'm just fertile myrtle over here, and I'm just gonna be like, okay, God. Okay, cool. What's next?
Oh, goodness. Love that. So, do you all have, is it 5, 4, 3, 2, 1?
6, 5.
6, 5, 4.
3, 2, almost 1 in
6, 5,
March.
3, 2, almost
April.
1. Okay. So they are, wow.
First 2, 13 months apart, then it's 15 to 18, 19 months apart. Staggered.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah, because yours, your window steadily increased. It
Yes.
was 13 months and then
Yeah, and then
a couple
15,
extra.
and then,
And then a couple extra.
And then it was 17, and then...
I remember you being like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah.
What a break.
I mean, I just noticed that it makes a big difference because when you're I remember dropping off Malia with her godmother, and she's just 1 year old. I mean, she's still just such a baby.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, bye. Yeah, take care of her for the weekend. I'll be in the hospital. and and she can't. I mean, she's not potty trained. She's not. What I'm trying to say is that they're just so young, and it makes a big difference. The amount of things that they learn in such a small amount of time, that even if babies are 2 years apart, that's a much bigger gap.
It is.
It
is a huge gap.
Because in the things that kids learn from age 1 to age 2 is a lot more.
There's an exponential shift
Huge.
there.
Huge.
Because by the time they're 1, they don't necessarily walk. They could be, but you say your kids are slow walkers.
Emerson walked till he's 22 months old.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he was having to be carried everywhere. I don't think he was crawling even by the time Bernie was here.
Oh, wow.
He was very late. My boys are always late for making their milestones. But,
yeah, Malia was tottering around.
Yeah.
She walked.
But
She
even
was
so,
delayed in speech.
Even so, like you said, though, a year old, they want mom. There's no fixing it. They can't communicate. They can't, nothing. I mean, they're babies.
I have a 2.5-year-old that's still that way.
Right?
I mean,
he is still uncertain at the umbilical cord and cockeyed. I'm like, dude.
They say. Well, I don't know what means.
Yeah.
Levi's like that.
I've noticed that.
He took the longest to, not be... He still doesn't go to the nursery all the time when we have our mom's meeting.
But he's just, I don't know, maybe it's just a personality. Certain kids just have that attachment more, which, I mean, obviously God ordained the difference in age between Leo and this one. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. So what has been, this might be a hard question. So maybe there are multiple points of surrender in this, but what are the biggest things that you've had to surrender, or you feel like have been opportunities to lean into surrender to the Lord with having 5 years?
Honestly, I think it's the actual surrendering of, am I going to get pregnant this month or not? Because my body is so out of whack. You can track all you want, but it's still, like I said, there's that God factor.
It's very difficult to figure things out when you're postpartum.
Absolutely.
The signs are not as clear. It's not as black and white. Unlike you, I was very regular before marriage. And it was just easy. NFP was pretty clear. And then you think it's going to continue that way. It's just not. But I would say that my biggest point of surrender is just my actual personal time. Just you get used to since we got married later in life, I feel like I was single for a long time.
Yeah, there's that
and,
too. You did too.
Not that was my favorite, but also you get used to having, oh, I'm going to do this, and this is what I want to do, and I'll make that decision because I'm the only one that I have to consider to make decisions. And it's just crazy.
Everything happens so fast, like, to you and your own self, then it's you and your husband, and then there's no honeymoon because there's baby right away, and there's another baby right now. Okay, cool, this is awesome, and you think you can handle it, and then here comes another one, and another one, another one.
Yeah,
so yeah, I think it's the change too.
And I kind of wanted that because I mean, I'm not really a kid person, but I knew that motherhood was the fastest way to become more virtuous. And I was like, okay,
that's for sure.
Sign me up because, maybe kids come with marriage. Maybe I don't like kids, but this will be good for me. And I'll become more virtuous. And then, but yeah, it's like, bam, okay, no free time.
Yeah, the amount of change within a short...
24/7.
Yeah, the amount of change within the short
and
amount of time.
You know how it is, like waking up at night.
Yes, that's true. Yes.
And you think it's going to change at some point, but... if they're at home, it's not going to change.
Well, when they're back to back, it doesn't change. I mean, because it's just another baby in the mix.
Right. But you think by the time, they're 5, they're not going to wake up in the middle of the night. They're not going to do all the things.
And they
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and so when you think, I can handle a new baby right now, and then you can handle the 3 times, 4 times waking up in the middle of the night, but really it's 8 times because you have the other children who are so close, still baby themselves.
The needs are still,
still need.
That's very real. My 6-year-old, I have a baby that's 9 months old, and she maybe 4 times a week, she's waking up in the middle of the night with a bad dream or a pee-pee accident, and I know she's 6 years old, but it happens. And then last night it was vomit at 2 a.m. and
then you're paranoid because you're like, okay, who else needs it?
So
let's just stand in order here.
So if they're not, it's just the sickness, and I wouldn't say that my kids are good sleepers. They vary a bit between themselves, but some families have that and some families don't.
I was gonna say my 4-year-old has been fighting sleep since he was like 6 months old. Like this has been a nonstop battle, and to this day, even just getting him to settle for like rest time in a separate space. He's not even alone. Like Leo is in there. He's asleep in his bed. His only requirement is to be in his space quietly. It's still not uninterrupted time. Yes, it is. It is a huge battle.
I won't make you go to sleep, but just be quiet.
But I think that's important is the navigation between different children. No 2 child is the same. Even your own. I've noticed in my own. None of them are the same. They may have the same traits, maybe, here, there. All of my kids are good sleepers. I've been really blessed in that. Where they go to sleep 3 months postpartum, they're already sleeping through the night, which is wonderful for me, although I still get woke up by, other things, children. I have nightmare, like you just said. But I think it's the navigating, whether you have 2 kids or 5 kids or 15 kids. It's navigating how to treat each one of them and what they need throughout the day so that you can have a restful night. Or vice versa. What can you do to help their night go better?
I don't know how to do that.
I don't either. It's the navigating. The navigating. It's the trying to navigate.
Trying is true.
Yes.
I do try.
You exhaust your options at some point. It feels like on Thursday I feel like I lost every battle, and I was like, he's never going to respect me as a parent. And I tried, man. Like, I tried. I tried everything in the book, and just nothing happened. He got to a point, I had him, like, my mom was like, you'll need to just, like, hold him. He won't go to his room, so hold him down until whatever, and he hates it, and I had him tucked in like a newborn so he couldn't move. He's laughing hysterically because he's so frustrated. And I was like, all I told him was, you've broken my trust when you've gone to any other room in this house. So you just need to play where I can see you. So you can play in the living room or you can play in the kitchen. Because Leo was still eating at the bar. And, something else is happening. And he was like, I was like, where are you going to play? And he goes, the basement. And I was like, nope. Try again. Wrong answer. And he goes, I'm not going to change my mind until you do. And I was like...
I'm like, do you know who's boss? Because I struggle with my 4-year-old. He's right there. He's constantly trying to make decisions, and I'm like, that's not even your choice.
You have lots of choices. This is not one of them.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. So you're right. It just doesn't... I think sometimes in motherhood we set ourselves up for the expectation that they will hit X milestone and things will be fine. Or they will hit this and it'll be smooth sailing. But they still have free will.
There is so much truth in that. And so it sometimes helps to not have the expectations.
That sounds really Debbie Downer. It really does, but it's really reality.
But we were just talking even before we were recording about how we've shifted from moms not having information and maybe just like doing whatever they can to survive because, a couple generations ago it was war, before that it was, there was no electricity, there were other obstacles here. So they had to work to feed their families. We now have access to a bunch of things that they didn't, but we now have too much access to information, and we're not also asking our parents, our husband's parents, like, did they do this? Because they've done it before. We're going to the internet that says you have to do X, Y, Z for this problem.
And if you're not on average, it's this big of a problem.
Yes, exactly. And you'll be spending X amount of money to fix that problem to make them average or whatever.
Yeah. And somehow we feel like the failure then if we don't live up to those expectations.
Oh, for sure.
And I think getting rid of the expectations goes back to the surrender part because it's an acceptance of, okay, I admit, yes, there's a problem, and I'm not against working on that problem, but I'm going to surrender right here, right now, that this is in God's hands, and I'm just going to do the best I can.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because what we said earlier was there's no sense in worrying about it.
There isn't.
And I fall prey to that all the time.
I worry constantly. And
if my kid's not on average, my kid's not on average, I'm just like, I
try to make a principle that I'm going to it's a clean slate with every child. Because you're right,
yes,
every one of them is
attitude.
So different. So once they're, labor's going to be different, delivery, all of it's going to be different. The pregnancy is different. This is a unique being that God has created in my womb. And in an attempt to honor that and also not to fall into my bad habit of control, I'm like, blank slate.
We all have control issues.
We don't know what will happen. Yes, some more than others. He's been working on this for years. This is how I know how bad it is. So I'm like, great, so this is year 2 of really in-depth work on control, and I'm doing how much better?
Yeah.
But I have to wipe that slate clean because Liam is not Leo. But it allows me to look at them and go, okay, Liam is excellent at patterns and shapes, and that's what he's drawn to. Leo is already memorizing some of the alphabet, and so his recall is good, but Liam is auditory, so I just have to talk, and he remembers it. Leo, I have to make him repeat it back to me. Or he has to see it a certain way. And that's equally frustrating because Liam was really easy to say, hey, don't do this, what did I say? You said this. And the next one is not that way. He's like,
Absolutely. You can
what?
tell one of my children exact detail, 4 different sentences, 4 different tasks all in a row. I can trust that they come back and do it, right? The other one, you literally have to grab their head and make them blinders. And be like, do you understand what I'm telling you right now?
That's Paul.
Because if they don't, they literally are just ping pong ball in their head and they can't concentrate on what you're trying to tell them. Mm-hmm. And that's within the same family. Mm-hmm. We're not
And you have 5 different ones that you're like, okay,
you just have
how do I say the same thing 5 different ways?
Yes. That is very frustrating.
It's a lot of brain power, I'm sure.
No wonder we worry and we're going blah, 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 all the time.
Yeah,
You're trying to say it 5 different ways.
Yes.
I don't know that I try and do it 5 different ways. You guys seem really in tune with your kids and what they need, and I think that's great.
Sometimes it's a blanket rule. Hey, this is what I said, go do it. And
I'll try it one way, and if that doesn't work, I'll try it another way with the ones that didn't get it the first time.
Well, a lot of times they'll just blindly follow the sibling and be like, oh, okay, this is what we're doing. Mm-hmm. Which is nice.
Yeah, I actually depend quite a bit on my oldest to lead the others in the right direction. Mm-hmm. There's a real thing to the oldest doing that. That's why I'm so grateful that my oldest is a girl. I don't know how you do it.
I don't know.
My oldest boy is very much, maybe because he's being raised by two oldest children. I don't know. That could have something to do with it. But he
likes
is
to lead.
he loves to lead. Almost to a fault. And that's probably where we get to that, no, I'm not going to change my mind until you do. And I'm like,
I think that is really snippy. Just like, oh, what do you say to that?
Really
They're
what?
like, oh, how did you
You
not
tell
laugh and be like, oh, like, you gotta play this card today, huh?
I think I said something to the effect of, I hate to tell you, but Mom always wins. Because I didn't have a brilliant comeback.
I go the 10 Commandments. I am your mother. Your job is to obey.
Sometimes that's definitely needed, though. Be like, you know, I don't have time to explain every single thing that you want to be explained to you. Therefore, you just need to do it because your mama said. Okay.
I was like,
That
God
is so
gave you
true.
to me to take care of you.
He
That's
made it
my
my
job.
job.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you
For
were saying
sure.
he's very what?
He wants to lead like that to a fault, to the point where he's like, I don't want to be obedient.
Got it. Yes, he has an own
Because
idea in his
I'm
head about what he
independent and I
thinks is the
can
right
do
way.
all things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Except, drive and...
So it's this
Put on your
matter
pants.
of harnessing that talent and putting it in rein with the appropriate level.
It's
So
kind
we've
of a
done a lot of
manipulation tactic, is it not? Be like to make them think it's their idea, where you're still
Feel like you
control.
are a good leader, and it's your job to set a good example so other people will follow you in the
Yes.
right direction.
I think we tried that, and it kind of helped, but then we had to go the other direction and say, we're just going to be obedient. Like, we're just going to
Yeah.
practice this virtue.
Which
because
is
you
a
need
really
it.
good thing to know and practice, because, hello, what are we doing right now? We're just blindly following along because that's what Jesus told us. Like, we just gotta go. We just gotta do it.
Yes.
You mean like it's our job to be obedient to
Yes.
Jesus?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, and you guys are doing
Surrender.
that in the way that you are living out your motherhood, and
Well, I hope so. I don't.
it's much more overwhelming to have all of that happen. Like, how would you even feel if you had a 2-3 year break between children?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know?
I haven't had that experience, but I think there's, I think you get these families that have 10 kids and they're spaced out over 20 years, and that's the 2-year gap, and I think it's beautiful. You get built-in babysitters, and then you're raising kids for a long time, but yeah, I don't know. I think what's nice, the biggest differences between, well, what I can tell from my friends and observing, is that when you have a bigger gap, the kids are more independent and your body recovers more. Those are the biggest opportunities and the biggest changes.
I think the body recovering is the biggest deal.
Yeah, it is a big
because
deal.
you're thrown right back into it. Your body doesn't have a chance to regulate itself anymore.
Yeah. And I bounced back pretty good, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
God made me for having
But
babies.
it doesn't it
But
take like
every baby was a little worse, a little worse, a little worse. And now this has been like the hardest recovery with the diastasis recti, and then just my hormones are different, and I'm just not bouncing
last
back.
pregnancy? I really felt it. I feel like, oh my gosh, I'm really feeling my age or something.
Yeah,
here,
my
'cause
age.
I'm like, this is
How
hard.
old are you?
I'm 36.
Okay.
It's like, I don't know.
I'm
That's
40,
embarrassing.
I'm 41.
30.
So we're 5 years
36.
apart.
I'll be 37 in April.
Yeah.
Math.
Math.
If it's not, how long has it been since this child is sleeping? What portion should they have? I can't do the math.
No, I don't know that I could do that.
Math has never been my strong suit. So
Neither.
I told my husband, I was like, I do math all the time. I am always doing math. I'm like, okay, the odds of this child being tired before 5 hours hits, not high. So they got up at 7, it'll be noon. Today was 8, it'll be 1. Like, that's my guesstimate. Because I go, is it even worth trying to put them down if I'm not at least 70% sure they're going to be tired?
and while you're talking, I am listening.
That's
I'm totally
impressive.
multitasking in my brain,
Yeah.
actually trying to do the math again. No, I'm going to be 38 in April, not 37. I'm
Okay.
37 right now.
I'm gonna be
Same thing
42.
happened when I was 27,
40.
going on 28.
Okay,
I was
so
like,
we're 4
yes, I'm
years.
going to be
We're
27.
4 years apart.
Totally lost the year
Weird.
of my life.
Yeah.
Like, weird that your brain just picks that 1 year.
Right?
Might not have happened
Decade
when
off.
you turned 18 because you're like,
It may have happened.
Independence.
No,
I don't
yeah,
know.
no, that would never have happened at 18. We are sharp at 18. We are so naive. We're just right into it, ready to do anything and everything. You're like, yeah, I could do the world. And then it's like,
The world did me.
Yes. And then you're like, I don't even know how old I am. Like,
But I feel much older than I am, than I should be.
Yes.
For sure.
Okay, speaking of 18-year-olds, I have a question for you. Did you feel, okay, you want to take over the world, you want to change the world, you want to do all these amazing things when you're young? Do you, I guess I should have thought how to phrase this. Like, how does that apply to you in motherhood today? Like,
it prepared me for, like, every day is different, where I can handle changes, because even though I'm a naturally spontaneous person and personality, it's still hard having something change every single day. I don't feel like anything is consistent. I can kind of try to control what's going to happen that day, and we're going to eat lunch then or whatever else, but somebody may have thrown up and be like, oh, I guess lunch is, not going to be when I wanted it to be, or we're not going to go to the trip to Oklahoma because, somebody's sick now.
so like that energy has gone into helping you deal and be resilient to fluctuations?
Yes, I think so. The energy is the same in motivation, but different.
In execution?
Yeah.
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 I'm kind of, I don't know if
Yeah.
I'm the opposite. I'm a very, like, scheduled out person. So the Lord is breaking me of that, obviously, with children. Because you're right. One day, someone wakes up with a fever and a cough,
Yeah.
and suddenly you're canceling all your plans. And it is what it is.
Yeah.
You can't control it, and it's fine. It's not the kid's fault either.
No,
like,
not
it's
at all.
just reality. I don't know. I think the Lord just made me a very ambitious person deep down. I have some wounds covering up some of that ambition that I'm working through. But he was like, no, really, you're gonna have children. It's gonna be fine. But also, I would really like you to do this thing that you do. Podcasts, writing, making all these things. So I think there's a part of me that has never changed. Like, I've always...
Yeah.
I just interviewed Caitlin Sponcil about her and her husband and how they met, because it's such a cute story. But when I did that, yes, dancing, but talking to her, she was like, oh, I've always wanted to be a mom. And I was like, me too, and an author and a rock star. But, like, that never changed. I still want to be those two other things. I'm like, so how do I make it work? Like, there are moms out there who are writing books or singing on the stage or doing all these things. So that part of my ambition has never changed. I think I've just learned that the only way it's going to happen is because God put those desires on my heart and they're good. And the only way it's going to happen is if I do it His way.
Mm-hmm. On His time.
Sure.
On His time.
Yeah.
Me thinking of what you just said, I feel that a lot. Like, I feel like I'm losing myself in little bits here or there because I'm pouring myself into my family so much that this right here is like
The highlight of
the
my
highlight
month.
of my month. Because not that my children are a burden. I love being with them all the time, but it just takes constant outpouring.
Yes,
And
I
you kind of
identify with that
lose.
a lot. I totally agree.
So to have those ambitions and to continue them is really important because it's so easily lost.
Yes.
There are lots of things, like you just said, makes me think of Bernadette. She wants to be an astronaut. You tell her, you ask her what she's going to be, as an adult. What are you going to be when you grow up? I'm going to be an astronaut. I mean, we all say that, like, extravagant dream, right?
Right.
I think one way of keeping the dream is mediating the level of expectation. Like, I have I love adventure. I have a very high sense of adventure, and I just want to be doing something, skydiving or something big, like, all the time. And I'm like, okay, well, when I have 5 kids in the car and we're going to the grocery store, that's an adventure today.
It really is.
It's like,
You have to have, like, Elastigirl arms because it's like, whoa, no. Yes, they're all mine. Like,
Yes, thank you. I know they're cute.
like, prepare
Can you tell them to
yourself.
stop touching?
Prepare yourself for all the comments. Like, oh, you have your hands full. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
You know what I say to that? Oh, looks like your hands are full. Yes, and so is my heart.
That's beautiful.
Do you say it with that level of
Yes, I
sass?
do. I do, because it drives me
It
crazy.
doesn't bother me. I mean, It's true.
Well, maybe that's the difference between you and me.
I've
then.
had people ask if
My
we're
patience level
gonna
is different.
stop. My patience level is different. I just came across a meme I shared like a year ago with my husband, and it says the P in my name stands for patience. That's why it's not there.
That is mine. I'm stealing that.
Dang it! I figured you would enjoy it.
That's really funny.
It's
It's not patience. It's just like, well, that's the truth. My hands are literally full.
like I have 2, there's 5. There's more
You were
than
making an
appendages.
acute
Yeah.
observation,
Yes.
Captain
I'm a
Obvious.
great multitasker. I don't need 5 hands.
And
Like,
got
they
it all.
have learned great skills being my extra set of hands.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that. That's
There you
great.
go.
Yeah, they kind of have to be. I mean, your oldest is kind of an extension of you. That's if I've really learned. We're also the guinea pigs, I've heard, which is true. But they're kind of the closest extension of the parent because we just had that time with, no matter how long it was, where it was just like, this is how my parent operates. Therefore, this is
Figuring
how
it out.
I
Yeah.
operate. Which has been interesting, bringing those dynamics into our marriage, of course. And we're like, okay, so what things did our parents do well? What things did they not do so well? Where can we find this middle ground? You know?
Yeah.
Between, like, creating our own household and our own expectations.
And that's important to do because you're not your family and you're not his family. You need
You're a
your
blend.
own family.
Mm-hmm.
And that sometimes can be really difficult.
A little bit of melting
yes.
pot.
Yes, and I think we're leading very nicely. So my next question was, what encouragement do you have for people that are in this season? But it sounds like we've kind of distilled it to, in a very positive way, letting go of expectations. Because there's a difference between letting go of expectations and not holding a standard. Because that's not what we're talking about.
But that sounds like work to do. That doesn't sound like encouragement to me.
So how would you pivot that? Like, what so I guess our key takeaway could be then letting go of expectations.
Yes.
Because being sensitive to the Lord is going to get you through that. Sometimes the only question you can ask as a mom is, God, what do I do next? Like, how should I discipline the kid that
Right.
says these things to me? Or do I just eat? You have to ask him because he knows the children that he created. But so how would you then encourage moms who are walking through the season where they either feel overwhelmed or they feel like their bodies are struggling or they can't follow those ambitions or whatever? Because that certainly is something that the Lord has asked you guys to lay down at his feet until your children grow. But as you said, you don't have to parent as long, like, because your kids are back to back. I say that loosely because you're always parenting, but
She might
Right.
have a lot more kids.
they grow.
I mean, I don't know. We'll see, God. But
Like, you'll have
Who
a
knows?
17, 16, 14, 13, 12-year-old, right? Like, all of those kids, even if you 2 or 3 years later have another batch or whatever, you have this, like, okay, we've pretty much cemented all of the things here. And obviously, I'm still coming over to my parents to record podcasts, so you don't ever stop.
no.
You don't ever stop. But,
You know, a friend of mine said, I just don't know how you're doing it. I don't know how to get through this stage. I don't know how. I don't know how. I don't know how. I'm like, I don't know how either. You do surrender it. You do let go. You let God. Just like any other aspect in your life. Whether you have kids or not. You have to let go, right? And I said, well, maybe these tribulations, these trials right now are just preparing you for the next hard. Because the next hard's going to be harder than the hard you have right now. That sounds kind of Debbie Downer-ish. I get it. Like, pessimistic.
Let me
But maybe
rephrase.
it is.
Maybe what you're saying, your form of encouragement and support is that gold refines gold. What's that biblical passage? Like, iron sharpens iron. And but there's another one about gold.
there's something about how, like, when you are sent through the refining fire,
Then you come out as
you
gold.
come out, like, the gold remains, the jewels
Yes.
remain, but the
Yeah.
straw and everything has been burned away.
Right.
Like,
And
you're-
God knows exactly what you need at the time. The tools in your belt to deal with the task at hand, the person at hand, the children you have.
Mhm.
And I do think that he is silently preparing you for the next chapter for you, for your husband, for the family unit, for that child specifically. Maybe they're going to have to deal with something similar in their own life when they're married and have children. And they'll be like, oh, wait, I've already had this experience. Maybe I can help you with this. I don't know.
Mhm.
And we're never going to know that reason either. But
we can trust him and follow suit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've heard it phrased before that if, we're going to die and God willing, we'll be saints in heaven. And looking down at our life and the path that God put us through, knowing what we know as a saint in heaven, we would turn to God and say, don't change anything.
Absolutely.
Keep all these tribulations in because I know this is what I needed to get here today. I mean, that's not me. That was someone else's idea that I'm paraphrasing.
Yes, but still, that's such a...
Just like the age-old thing, though, if you put all your problems in one basket, and that person did the same thing, and that person, you're going to take your own basket back. You're not going to take someone else's.
Right. It's what is, God makes us each have our own personal cross.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he gives us the tools, then, to help us get through those things, as long as we keep him side by side. Like...
And he's always ready to give us solutions, just like
Absolutely.
We're always ready to give our kids solutions.
Amen. Yes.
But we don't always ask.
Yeah. And we have little blinders where we just need to focus and be like, okay.
Like God probably wants to do that to us sometimes.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that would be the most comical prayer experience.
Jesus, can you imagine Jesus taking your face and squishing your cheeks?
Maybe that's our next prayer. Be like, okay, Jesus, give me blinders so I can see only you and focus on what you're trying to tell me right now.
From the ADHD.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also just yes, it's very comical to see how beautifully God made men and women complementary because guys can't. We were talking about that too before we started. They can't multitask, and that's okay because the way that they were built to provide.
Absolutely.
They need to be in the work box while they're working, and they need to do this in the next box, and that's fine. But yeah, those blinders where it's like, one child is screaming, I'm not sure what the other one's doing. I'm just hoping that room is not destroyed. Yes. Like that is the steady in your brain. Yeah. Like you needed this discipline. If the room is destroyed, and you dug your own grave.
I mean, actions have consequences.
They do, and sometimes that's the best way to take care of it. I was that way with my 4-year-old the other day. That same day, I was like, I put him in his room, and I was like, I'm shutting the door, making sure he's not going to come out unless he has to go to the bathroom, because I just need to pee, really.
Literally. Sometimes
priorities have been changing.
Like,
and inevitably, there's still those little tiny fingers under the doorway, like, Mom, are you there?
In case you forgot about me.
Yeah, exactly.
You can put a timer to it, and it's less than a minute every time, the interruptions. Less than a minute.
Have you done this?
Why, mentally. I mean, maybe it's just my way of complaining, be like, I can't even get 5 minutes. I can't even get one. But yeah.
But it helps you know that you're not exaggerating.
Yeah, well, it's true.
You're like, oh, actually, I cannot. I literally cannot get a minute. Yes.
I feel that way. And I want to speak to the altered ambitions, because I feel like that kind of hit me hard. Because I kind of felt like motherhood was going to be not the expectation that motherhood was going to be a side gig, but it's not what I went into marriage desiring. Mm-hmm. And so the altered ambitions, did you know that now in the United States we are not having kids enough to repopulate our own
it is
population?
Not at replacement rate.
I think it's like at 1.7 and repopulation is 2.1 or something.
Isn't that crazy?
And so it's just kind of been on my mind that I do want to change the world, and I do want to make the world a better place. And a lot of times we feel powerless to do that. Like we can vote, and maybe that feels like about it, but there's really something to say about the power of family and raising the next generation.
Absolutely.
Because if all the good ones are having all the kids, what is the world going to be like in Evan's
go-to comeback for any off-the-wall comments that we always hear for family size, right? You have 5 kids? Oh my gosh. We're just creating our army, he says. We're creating our army.
Yeah.
And I love that because it is true. It's like we're standing up and we are doing our part, and we not be able to see that, but the next generation might.
Like, we might not be able to go to Congress and filibuster things that we know are bad for our citizens, our children, and our country, but we can raise the next generation
who are gonna vote.
And maybe have some moral politicians get involved.
Yes.
Finally.
No, you're very right. I think that
it's pretty important. The next generation is the future of everything. And if you can, and I'm not good at this, but if I can wrap my mind around that and show myself how important it is to like teach my kids the right things and to care for them and to show them the love and all the things that they need, it could change the world.
It could.
It really could. It's actually funny that you mentioned that, because when I was kind of putting together my bulletin board about, like, what I'm doing, that was kind of at the center of it, was changing the tide of the culture. Mm-hmm. And I think that part of changing the tide is it's again, not having perfect stories or perfect examples. I mean, we already have, like, Mary and Jesus, and we have scripture that shows us perfect examples. But to just know that there are people every day doing their best to follow the Lord, and that's really what surrender is.
Sometimes those big Mary, Jesus examples don't feel tangible. They don't feel like you can grasp them. But if you can have solidarity in how similar we are, I find a lot of solidarity in you, Krista, because it's like, we're living the same life.
You're also both totally renovating different. Your houses and like putting old things back together.
Oh my gosh.
We hadn't even touched on that yet. No. But like, it's not just like you're raising 5 kids, but like you guys have lived, how long, like you've been working on this house your whole marriage.
Oh yes.
Beyond that for your husband. You lived in a camper for X amount of time.
He bought the house 2 years before we were married, before I was even a thought.
A twinkle in his eye.
Pretty much. And we didn't like super seriously start working on it until we were engaged. I'm like, okay, we got like to have a house to like live in when we're married, right? Yeah. Okay, so we really started like.
Preface: the house is 100 years old.
Yes, it's 1890. Yeah. When that's only what's on the books, it could be older than that because he didn't even have to
records were not.
Oh, yeah. I see.
And so it was basically.
It was always a fixer-upper.
Yeah, it didn't have like plumbing where it needed to be. There was everything. It was a bare bone house, and then just kept getting added throughout the years, decades, right? Everything needed to be replaced. So this is a project, right? Yeah, it's still a project.
5 kids here, and
now we have 5 kids. And man, if I'd have known then what I know now, how difficult it'd be, I'm like, nope, we're working on it today. Nope, we're working on it today because
we're never leaving.
We're doing it every single day. Yeah. Because adding the children and the family and all the responsibilities and the things to do, and even just getting to Mass, everybody in the car, you have to dedicate. Okay, it's going to take 10 minutes to get in the car. It's going to take 10 minutes to get out.
And that's like from the front door to the car.
Yes.
That's not getting shoes on or coats or anything. That 10 minutes.
Absolutely. That depends on the season. Trip. Absolutely. Yeah, because you can just get your shoes on and go, or do you got to bundle up and then in the car. We can't get car seats. Now you have to take your jacket off because we can't buckle your butt. Like,
you're just too puffy in this.
Yes,
okay?
You're just too puffy. And that's okay. But everything takes time. So then it's just the growing. It's the surrendering again. It's just you got to keep going, throwing the punches. Just duck and weave. Like, it's just, you gotta keep going.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And we all do that journey differently, because, I mean, your kids are going to school. You're currently homeschooling, right?
Yes, yep.
So, I mean, for me, the idea of being in a pickup line sounds terrible. Like, I don't know how I would get my kids somewhere at 7 a.m.
I feel the same.
But you get a little break. You're like, here, my kids are in school.
I just want a little bit more time without...
It's a break, but really, is it a break? Because you do get up early and you have to be there at a certain time, which might be good for you and your schedule and having a schedule.
I was going to say, you were really good at routines.
I've become better at routines, is how I would phrase it. I am a free-flying spirit, but there's a necessity when you have so many littles. Mm-hmm. And the secret sauce is get help with transportation. So I only have to drive them 2 days a week and pick up 2 days a week. And then the other... 3 days. Do the math. The other 3 days.
I'm glad you're with me.
I have help.
38.
The other secret sauce is have breakfast prepared the night before, or get help with putting breakfast on the table, then the rest just kind of falls into place. But they do such a good job at the schools in our community. They do a much better job than I could do teaching kids. I don't feel... Perhaps people say like, oh, you can homeschool, and like you don't have to be a certain cut to homeschool, and I would believe that's true. I just don't want to.
Yes.
not right now. I just want a little more time and space away from my children to have.
And that's all about your priorities.
And every year another
like
kid's going to go.
Do. Yeah.
I mean, every year we're still doing the let's drive to school thing. Let's have breakfast before we go to school. So every year it'll just be a little more peaceful at home.
The important thing is you don't have to decide your children's educational career within 1 year. Mm-mm. It can change every single year.
Yes.
Be like, you know what?
You can change the circumstances when...
Yeah,
like
this year I think we're going to homeschool and we're going to try it. Or no, that didn't work at all. We're going to go back to school.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Or this kid needs to be in a classroom environment because they thrive there. They need socialization. This kid doesn't. They would prefer to, they actually care about, getting their stuff done, and they can do it so fast that it would be harder for them to be stuck somewhere 8 hours.
Here we are again, just going each child by child and be like, okay, what's best for this, for the family, for everybody, to
for sure. Mm-hmm. So what would you guys say to, there are a lot of women, I think, in I'm younger than you guys by a lot more than I thought I was. I'm 10 years younger than you guys, but it's fine.
Not a big deal.
Nope. I would have never guessed it. No, I would have assumed you guys were maybe 30.
Yes!
I have a blanket. We're all the same age. We're adults.
And
that's
true.
There
comes a point where you just don't even care about age. Hence, I didn't know how old I was.
Yes.
We're going through the same thing.
Exactly.
So
it doesn't really matter.
It's the solidarity that matters.
Yes. And in that solidarity, whether, there are women who aren't married and are later in life and want to be married and have kids, or, just women in general, even the ones who are, frightened at the thought of having kids. Because I think that we're talking about the birth rate being below replacement. Yeah. There are a lot of women who fear their God-given ability to bring life into this world, because that part of that fear, I think, has triggered them to react certain ways or not get married or whatever. So what would you say, being moms who probably are living out the thing that they fear, having kids back to back, and just taking it day by day, what would you have to say to encourage them?
I'm sorry to say, it all comes down to trust again. You have to trust that God is going to carry you no matter what happens. You can't just say, hey, this is what I'm going to do and this is how it's going to play out, and we're going to be okay because that's how I made it to be.
Mm-hmm. So you would say that your dependency and your trust in God has increased because of this experience?
100%.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I believe there's lots of fruit that's going to come out of this. I believe that my kids are going to be each other's best friends. I believe that I'm being refined and improving because of all the kids back to back. And I believe there's so many good things. We're growing a legacy. Mm-hmm. And I can't imagine what it would be like to be old and not have any kids. And thinking, how did I change the world? What good did I create that's being left behind? I don't want to be remembered per se, but I want to do my part to make things better than they were. And I just can't imagine not having kids and having a good answer to that. I believe that people can. I believe that the single vocation is a real thing, and some people commit their lives to I know I can name two. I can name at least two people that have a single vocation and they're rocking it. But kids are a great answer to leaving a legacy that's beautiful.
And I really think everything, no matter what path that life is taking you, it all boils down to one thing, is trust. You've got to trust that you are where you're supposed to be. And it doesn't mean that you should be fearful of the things that you want to do or you think that you can't do, because if you end up having a baby and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't do this, I'm pregnant, what am I going to do? It's already written in God's eyes. He already knows that baby exists. He trusts that he put that baby there, knowing full well you can do this.
Yeah, let him drive. Let God
you gotta let go. You just gotta let go. You're gonna be scared until you're with that, and you're like, oh,
you've all seen the picture of the little girl crying because God is asking for her teddy bear. And then behind his back, he has a bigger one. That picture.
Yes.
Have you
seen it? I have not seen that, but it's so sweet.
It is.
Yeah, and it's give me this fear Give me this fear,
Yes.
and I will reward you.
And I will transform.
And that's why the word surrender is so dang good, because that's all we do during life. That is what we need to do. We need to surrender who we are, what we do, what we want, our expectations, everything, because God has it handled. And if we would just let it go.
She's very passionate about this.
She is very passionate about it.
I'm
I love
passionate
it.
because I'm frustrated at myself because I can't.
Aww.
Not that I can't.
That's
It's
where the
just-
solidarity
it's
comes
hard
in, right?
It
to
is
do.
hard.
It is.
It's very hard.
Yes. Yep. And there's a lot
See,
of
this
blind
isn't you
obedience.
preaching it at other people. This is admitting, like, this
Absolutely is.
This
Yes.
is not some easy road.
No.
And yeah, we get it. It's difficult.
That's why we need support in the surrender, because
Yeah.
God continually asks it of us. And if we're not attentive to it, then we also won't see the bigger teddy
Yeah.
bear. Like,
My mom also says something that my mother, she's so wise. She doesn't think she is, but she totally is. And I just wish people could see it. She could see it at least. Anyway, she says there's a reason God gives you one child at a time. Whether, there's twins, there's triplets, whatever. But there's a reason he gives them to you one at a time, so you can grow with them. They don't come all at once. If you're going to have 5 kids right off the bat, and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed. How is this even going to happen? Like,
Yeah,
I
that's
can't do
another
this.
kind of challenge that happens on occasion.
But that's the
But, yeah.
the wonderful thing about growing with it. You learn to adapt and feel comfortable in that space. And so do your kids. They learn to adapt to another child.
they're
They
very
know what's
adaptable.
I call it leveling up.
It really is. It really is.
Like 1 kid, level up. 2 kids,
Yeah.
level up. 3 kids.
You're always, it feels like, growing to meet the challenge in a good way, because not because necessarily the kids are a challenge, although that comes with it, but because this is a new person. You have to have the
Yes.
simultaneous perspective that, yes, you are not here to sanctify your kids, they're here to sanctify you.
Absolutely.
As the Messy Family podcast says. That one really killed me when we listened to that, and Mom's girl was like, oh man, like another thing I can't control here.
Another
Yep.
thing I
But
can't control.
you're simultaneously having to recognize on the spiritual level where they're being formed by God and where you're being sanctified, and you also on the physical side have to recognize, oh, okay, they're developing this way. This is their different personality. I need to blinder them to get their attention, or XYZ. You have a different, recognition as a parent each time. You're like, okay,
Yeah.
you are your father. So how did my mother-in-law raise your father?
How did she handle you?
Yes. What worked on this kind of personality? But you're always leveling up, because you have to think about it, and you're like, oh, that's my bad habit walking around right there.
Yeah.
What am I going to do about that? Because sometimes part of being the parent is recalling that
And
you have to stop your own nonsense first. Yes.
it's very humbling to be a parent.
So
Very, very humbling.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, when my kids misbehave and I'm like, oh, that's me
Ooh.
right there. Reacting
And none of
inappropriately.
us as parents, as people, are perfect.
Mm-mm.
And I think it's really important to kind of off the wall here to apologize to your children when you do those
Yeah.
things,
Oh,
because
yeah.
it happens. And then
That's how they
Bernadette
learn
said
to...
the other day to me, she's like, "You were kind of scary, Mom." I'm really sorry that I was. And I was wrong. Can you forgive me? Yeah, of course, but
Yes. That's where, we have to recognize, too, in motherhood, like, you've had yours all back to back, and you said, like, it's a lot to think about at once. It's a lot
is.
of kids. It's a lot of, like, you've said before, somebody's always crying. Like, something is always happening. But this is where we really get a chance to recognize God's mercy and His forgiveness and His care for all of us, because He knew this was going to happen and He gave them to you anyway, right?
Absolutely.
And He's going to reconcile it. And that's where our power of prayer as moms comes in too, I think.
They say, I'm not a theologian, but, like, the reason why God and the Son created the Holy Spirit is because love cannot contain itself. It has to have, like, the reason why God is a Trinity and not just one person is because true love can't exist alone. It has to have someone to love, and there has to be fruit because of that love. And so it is so clear to me that we are made for community. And it is so
beautiful.
clear to me
Yeah.
that our community starts in the home,
Mm-hmm.
and that we need each other, and that we can help each other grow. I saw a headline this past week about the true benefits of how resilient you actually are if you don't have any close friends. And I read the article because the headline I was like, that's not true. Like you're not more resilient if you don't have any close friends. And it truly looked like a justification. The reasons they listed were like, oh, you have more freedom to decide. You don't have to do maintenance of friendship. And I thought this whole article looks like a justification of being selfish,
Selfish is
of
the word
being
came to
lonely,
mind.
of comforting yourself in choosing fear over vulnerability. And watch that Brene Brown TED Talk on vulnerability.
Oh, yeah. That one's intense.
And I just thought, this is the next, like, this feels like Gen Z to me, the anxious generation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not true. And so anyone who's tied up in that, I want to empathize that it's been difficult. And a lot of things about our world have put you in a position where you didn't ask to be. But the solution is not to justify loneliness or act like you're doing some amazing thing, being resilient, not having any close friends. The solution is to have true community, not social media, but a true community. And that's just what's going to help you grow the most.
Not just any community, though, either. You have to have
Good
established
community.
boundaries, because you are who you associate with, right?
That's a fine, an important point to clarify, that it has to be a good community.
Yeah.
So pick and choose your friends wisely.
Oh yeah, that might be a great place to start for people who are struggling with the idea of motherhood and stuff in general. Is like, it really does matter who you surround yourself with. And if you know that that's where you want to be, then surround yourself with people who will help you get there, not with people who are going to tear down that ideal.
100%. And the vulnerability really caught me when you said vulnerability.
You gotta watch that TED Talk, man.
It really is. To be vulnerable, nobody likes it. Nobody likes to be vulnerable, but you gotta be vulnerable to find a husband, don't you?
It is written
you gotta
in
be
our
vulnerable
DNA
to have kids.
to have community. It's not like, yes, spiritually, absolutely, God created us this way, but also like scientifically, like we were created for community, and to be vulnerable with humans is good for our brain.
Oh yeah, and you guys have hit on two very big things today, that trust and vulnerability, which we've hounded many times on this podcast, are incredibly critical to surrender, because you have to have both of those things with God. Because if you can't even be vulnerable and say, I don't want to give you the teddy bear, this is really hard for me.
Yes.
And he can't respond and say, do you trust me? Hand it over and let's see what happens. Or, like, you can't have that interaction with him if you aren't willing to say,
here I am, Lord, I come to do your will. How many times are we actually putting ourselves in that position? Just say, here I am.
I come to do your will.
I would love to have the relationship with God where I trust him enough to hand over the teddy bear without him first saying, I have something better for you in store.
Mm-hmm.
Like to not be able to see the future and just to be like, you want this bear?
That blind obedience.
My teddy bear?
And there's also multiple teddy bears.
Oh, yeah.
Just because you did it once doesn't mean it's all one and done. I mean, it's a continual teddy bear. Like, but you just gave me this one. I want this one. It's like, it's just a constant daily thing, I think.
It is.
Where it's just like, oh, this is my next struggle. Okay, we can do this.
Hand it to you.
Yes.
And sometimes his answer will be, here's your solution. And sometimes the answer is, I'm just asking you to sit in the suck right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just because that's okay.
I feel like I suck a lot. Just like total fail. And I try not to think about that too much. I just feel like, well, I'll keep trying. I'm going to keep trying. I'm not going to give up. Like, I'm going to keep trying.
And no matter who it is, you are your own worst critic. And so the negative self-talk is a thing. And if you can kind of just get away from that and say, Lord, here I am. Please help me get through this. I am worthy of this, what you have given me, this gift that you've given me. I am worthy of it. Help me get through it. I don't know how to do it.
Oh, I love this. Such good advice. Thank you, ladies, for coming on and sharing your stories and your wisdom and your humor with us.
Wisdom?
It's been a good time. time.
I've
It's been
had a great time. Thank you, Jill.
Yes,
Yes,
it's been awesome.
of course.